Tindes uppgift att säga att vi... För nu är klockan 6, kanske säga någonting till de som finns på webben.
Ja, when I speak, you have to translate or just know everything?
Så, då vinkar jag bara in i kameran nu och säger välkommen till alla som lyssnar på oss från runt om i landet. Vi inväntar fortfarande lite folk här på plats så att vi återkommer om ungefär 10 minuter. Så att ni har lite tid att ladda upp med lite extra popcorn och sådär, så återkommer vi alldeles strax.
Lucian, she just said that there are a few people on their way, so they will wait.
5 minutes.
Yes.
What is the
Would you like coffee? Or a glass of
I have to speak maybe maybe a coffee would be yeah.
Milk?
Väldigt skeptisk till allting som görs.
Är ni allihopa?
Ja.
Är det någon som saknar någon?
Ja, min kamrat. Men hon är lite sen hon gick till det där andra stället. Så hon är på väg och här några minuter bara. Så du kan börja med skriva och sätter sig.
Men det är svårt att undvika korruption.
Ja, det är det. Men alltså själva de har inte gjort något. till så i 10 minuter. Så att,
Bus station and train station are next to each other.
It's 7 bus stops. It's close.
So you try to stand like from the post on the table and to the right. So this is your square.
Here,
Yeah,
not here.
that's right too. Yeah. Just so you don't move too much in this
Too much in this, right, yeah.
Insamlingsmånad, de här månadens projekt. Ja, det var det förra året.
Det är på racing.
Att jag kan också visa fakta från projektet, men det är liksom insamlingsfolket som gör det.
Så, då drar vi igång. Hjärtligt välkomna hit allihopa. Det är fantastiskt att få välkomna er till denna kväll om Rumänien. Det är också fantastiskt att vi har ett helt gäng med oss live via vår lilla kamera här runt om i Sverige. Så varmt välkomna till er också. Jag vet att Kummelby som är här också finns med oss via livesändning. Och Umeå pastorat ska finnas med oss. Så varmt välkomna till er och några fler vad vi kan se. Den här kvällen har vi bjudit in till för att få delge lite mer information om det projekt som vi har i Rumänien tillsammans med vår partner där. Och ni ska få direkt information från Lucian som är inbjuden till oss ikväll. Jakob ska få presentera honom lite närmare sen. Vi har valt att bjuda in er som på ett eller annat sätt har bidragit till vårt projekt i Rumänien. Och det är jätteroligt att ni är här och ska få del av den här kvällen. Vi kanske kan få höra lite vilka som är här. Ska vi ta en liten snabb presentationsrunda så vi får höra vilka församlingar som är representerade. Niklas tar en mick här. Vi tar en liten snabb runda. Namn och församling eller stift.
Astrid Rosidell från Danderyds församling. Maggie Nordström, volontär i Sollentuna församling men jobbar på Stockholms stiftskansli.
Ninni Abrahamsson heter jag jobbar här på kansliet på Giva Service.
Katarina Fredriksson från Boglösa Bäckholms församlingar i Enköpings pastorat.
Margareta Isberg Nilsson, jag kommer ifrån Västerlövsta pastorat. Och Maria Wiborg heter jag, jobbar här på kansliet i Giva Service.
Och Josefin Kasteryd jobbar också på Giva Service här i huset.
Kristina Taylor, Västerlövsta pastorat.
Ulla Karlén, jag kommer från Kummelby församling och vi jobbar här Make and Remake.
Margareta Svanborg heter jag och gör samma sak.
Ingrid Wangel, Sollentuna församling, Kummelby.
Charlotte Engel från Diakoniststiftelsen Samariterhemmet.
Peter Olofsson, Skarpnäcks församling i Stockholm.
Anna Malmqvist bor också i Skarpnäck men jobbar i gemenskap aktivt med romer.
Jakob Sundmark handlägger vårt arbete i Rumänien ifrån kyrkankansliet och internationella avdelningen.
Och jag heter Gustav Helsing och jobbar på kommunikationsavdelningen här på kansliet och har haft förmånen och nöjen att besöka Roma 2 gånger som fotograf.
Emil heter jag. Jag sitter och kollar med filmen här. Så om det är lite fel på ljudet så är det mig skriker på.
Och Niklas Forgen heter jag, jobbar här på internationella avdelningen.
Varmt välkomna allihopa. Har jag sagt vad jag heter? Vilken kardinalmiss. Tinde Karlbrand heter jag, jobbar som enhetschef här på internationella avdelningen på enheten för engagemang och givarservice. Jag har också haft förmånen att besöka Rumänien och det här projektet som vi nu ska få fördjupa oss i. Och vi är ju hemskt glada att ni är här, för ni är de som tillsammans har bidragit till att vi kan stötta det här projektet som jag i alla fall har fått se gör så stor skillnad för så många människor. Tillsammans med massa andra församlingar och er som tittar på. Och ni som tittar på oss live, ni har möjlighet att ställa frågor framöver. Det kommer ni i rummet också få. Men för att vi ska få kontakt med er ute i landet så kommer jag nu läsa upp ett telefonnummer som ni kan smsa era frågor till. Hoppas ni har papper och penna. 076 8 000 115. Vi tar det igen. Det känns lite som Melodifestivalen. 076 8 000 115. Så under kvällen, har ni några frågor eller funderingar, smsa det numret så kommer vi plocka in det i samtalet här under kvällen. Nu ska vi gå vidare. Jag ska presentera, som han redan har presenterat sig själv i och för sig, Jakob Sundmark som jobbar som handläggare här på kansliet och jobbar med Rumänien bland annat. Välkommen.
Tack så mycket. Jag ska egentligen bara presentera kvällens huvudgäst, nämligen Lucian från Rumänien, från Roman. I will take this presentation in Swedish if that's okay. Yes. Thank you. Lucian är präst och munk inom Franciskanerorden och har varit aktiv eller ansvarig för arbetet i Roman sedan 2014. Och det här Fundatia Umanitaria Pacea som de driver i Roman har funnits sedan år 2000. Och Lucian själv är rumän och kommer från Bukarest. Warm welcome to you, Lucian. It's very nice to have you here again and meeting you again. It will be very interesting to hear you speak and to also have the questions from the people here and the conversation they have. Warm welcome to you, please.
Thank you, Jakob and Tinde, for inviting me here while Tinde is arranging the pictures. It's a pleasure to be here and to meet you and to share with you what we are doing back there in Romania and also with the people who are watching us through the streaming system. Some of you already know me and I'm happy to meet you again. So I'm sorry for having to bother you with repeating some stuff that you already know, but maybe it's nice and it's important for the people here who maybe haven't heard too much about what we do in Romania or what we are intermediating to do, because we are only intermediate. I like to say it's not us doing, it's everybody doing. We are only intermediate in doing some stuff that mainly you will also see in pictures. Pictures will be coming on a random basis. They won't be coming while I speak about the activities. Unfortunately, I wasn't good enough to do this myself, so I'm sorry for that. but maybe while I'll speak and while you are watching the pictures, you can make up an idea. And if not, you can ask more Jakob and Tinde and Maria and Gustav that have been there, and they can share with you their own personal experience. So, the beginning of our foundation, it is actually, the name is Fundatia Umanitaria Pacea, Humanitarian Foundation Peace. It was established in 2000 by an Italian Franciscan friar who was in Romania already then for about 7 years. He was involved in formation for priests and religious monks, or friars. We are actually friars. And then he saw the poverty, and he met a lot of people coming to ask for help. So through his friends from Italy and Spain, he is Italian. He was working in Spain previous to coming in Romania. So through his connections, he established this foundation basically to help the poor people. It happened to be in that area, the poor were mainly the Roma people. Wasn't only Roma people, but mainly Roma people. So he established this foundation, and he was basically giving out humanitarian aid through packages of food, through maybe helping out with paying some bills, through even then in trying to involve them in some in some working projects, to integrate them into work. I remember I was a young boy then. I'm not that old now, but I remember I was preparing to be a priest, a friar, and I remember he was arranging with some men to go and do, I don't know, timber with the wood in the forest. He was arranging with another people to go in the fields and work in the fields for corn and other stuff, other cereals. You know, he did a lot, tried a lot of things. With some other people, he tried to. Sorry. Try to make statues. You know, we, the Catholic Church, we have statues. You know, it's a big debate on that. So he was doing with these people, working with them, making statues, and so forth. Slowly, he realized it is not enough, and maybe is not important for the future. And also because he met a lot of children who were not going to school. He met some adolescents, some young adults who were not going to school. He realized education is important. And right just before he actually handed on to another friar the leading of this social center, Fundatia Pacea. And by the way, it's a sad news that the friar who came over to lead, so the one who was before me, he actually died yesterday, so God rest him in peace. Anyway, we started to evolve a bit, to improve our projects, do a little bit less humanitarian aid and do a bit more integrated projects with education. So we began to collect the children, to invite them to our place. It's the social center where we have most of the activities. We began with a school. It was a program which is also still now called the Second Chance Program. Basically for young adults who missed the first train to go to school, they can get another chance and build up their education, curricular education, formal education, through coming to school. It's a project which is recognized by the education department and helps them go through school in a fast track. It's a bit of a quicker way because they are already grown-ups, so they don't need a year to learn the alphabet. They need half a year or even 3 months, you know. So if they are good enough, in calendaristical year they can graduate 2 classes. That's why it's called also second chance, and it's fast track. Slowly, as I said, we arrived to the point that in 2014 I was asked by my superiors to take over this responsibility of Fundatia Pacea. Again, in the same year we started a collaboration with Norwegian Church Aid, and quickly after, in 2015, we began the collaboration with you, with Church of Sweden, through Norwegian Church Aid, but still for us it's you, you know, I mean you together, it's a joint collaboration, both Norwegian Church Aid and Church of Sweden. Although in the last 2 years the main donor of our project or supporter of our project is Church of Sweden, and Jacobs knows very well. Here you can see a man cutting the lavender, collecting the lavender. So again, from 2015 especially, we began this, I would say, this new branch, which is a very important branch. Up till then, I must say, we had projects on education, as I've already said, a few classes. Now we have 4 classes. That second chance, we have a kindergarten, we have a ordinary class in primary school, and we have another program which is called I Also Go to School, for those who prepare for the second chance. The law was then, still it is now, but it improved a bit, that if the child was not involved, was not enrolled in school at the age of 8 years old, maximum, 7 years old, if he was already or she was already 8, the child was not allowed anymore in school until it reached the age of 12, when the child could go to the second chance program. So for 3 or 4 years, these young children were staying home compulsory. I mean, they were not allowed in schools, and it's especially on this age where they become delinquents. You know, they are doing nothing. That's why the parents are not encouraging them to go to school. That's why they go in the town and start doing the bad things. Not all of them, of course, but a good number of them. So that was education. We also have our target group is mainly, it's about 1,000 people living in those barns that you have seen in the pictures. So about 1,000. The number is not clear because it varies every day. Some days some manage to go away, and some days some manage to come in as well. So it depends, but it's about 1,000. And about 400 more people from Roman town. So our target group altogether is about 1,400 people, to whom we reach through education, as I said, these 4 classes, but also we have a collaboration with an Orthodox priest, Father Mihaița Popovici, and 30 more children from Olympic Village, those 4 rough barns. We call it Olympic Village, it's nicknamed Olympic Village. So 40 children from there who are attending public school in Roman town are staying for the after school program, which helps them frequent school, be more concentrated to school. This after school program, apart from helping them doing homework and improving the lessons that they've learned, gives them also a meal, which is very important for them, because they are in a very big poverty level there, and some are not eating properly for days and days. So all these children, either those from Father Popovich, the 30 children, and the about 80 that are coming to our center, they are all receiving a hot meal lunch. For Romanians, lunch is like for you dinner. I mean, it's a big meal. I know here it's like a sandwich, no? But the main meal is at lunch. So this is about education. And we also try to support children from Olympic Village who are going into public schools in town, to support them with sometimes with school equipment so that they would not drop out of school. Dropping out of school is a big issue, especially for Roma children and poor children, because they are looking for quick income and they say, I want to make money, therefore I have to do things. I won't go into details. Therefore I have to drop school, you know. So they don't really treasure, they don't have the knowledge, especially the parents are not interested at all, most of them, in treasuring the importance of education. So we also try to do this through a lot of meetings with parents that we have had in the last years, especially as I said, since we came into collaboration with Church of Sweden and with Norwegian Church Aid, we developed more on these programs, on meeting the parents, on awareness raising, especially for parents, that it is important, education, skills, rights, human rights. Also, the other branch that I will go into now is skills training and job creation. But before I go into that, I have to mention that we also have a health department. We have a little medical unit in the Olympic Village. It's a kind of ambulatory unit, it's like an emergency unit, I would say, where a nurse and some days a doctor are treating or are looking after these both children and adults, because most of them don't have health insurance, especially the adults. Children, of course, they have, because if they go to school, they have, or if they are under, I don't know, 7 years old, they have by law. But adults, if they don't work, they don't have medical insurance. Only if one of the family works, but in Romania, only marriage is recognized by law, so if they are in partnership, this is not valuable, and many are in partnership in Olympic Village, so they are not married. Therefore, health insurance, it's an issue. So we try to help them with the nurse, with the doctor, and with some medicine that the doctor and the nurse considers that they need for their treatment. We also have in our center a medical unit where the doctor and the nurse are looking after our children, checkups and treatment whenever is necessary. So now I come to this branch of skills training and job creation. As I said, especially, and this is especially since we began the collaboration with Church of Sweden, also because of the support that we got from you, we began a project in a nursery. You have seen it in the pictures. It's a big garden where there are ornamental plants that you put in the garden, and yeah, to look nice. And there we set up a place for cultivating lavender. Also, this was the result of thinking, what can we do, how can we do, a lot of thinking behind all my story. It's a lot of thinking, you know, which I should not go into speaking about now, maybe on the questions time. So we began this cultivating lavender because we thought like that. We should do something for the people from Olympic Village. They came to us and said, look, Father, I am looking for work. I go to knock at this door and at that door, and they don't allow me because I'm a Roma. They say because I'm a gypsy, but the politically correct is because I'm a Roma, because I have no school, because I am dirty, and because it is written on my forehead that I am stealing. You know, they have this stigmata. and this stops them from having a chance, an opportunity to work often, not always, but very often they are not allowed, they are not welcomed to work, even non-qualified work, you know, because of course they didn't go to work in I don't know, IT unit. They were looking for simple work which they could do without having a lot of skills, but still they were not allowed because of being Roma and of living in Olympic Village. So we began this project where we said they could learn how to look after the plants, how to dig the plants, how to mend it, how to cure it, how to harvest, for instance, the lavender. It is nice, it's open, and they are happy to work on an open field, not on a very closed field. I will tell you about that a little later. So we said let's try, and we began with 10 people. They were considered daily workers then. That was 3 years ago. For about half a year to work in the fields there, planting lavender, and then looking after the plants from the nursery. Of course, there was a man in charge there who was looking after them. I should mention that this field, it also belongs to the Franciscan friars in Romania. So there is another priest who is in charge of that part, but we live together. Where I live, we are 9 brothers. We live in a community, but we have different tasks. Me and 3 more, we look after these social projects. 1 is looking after the ornamental field. 3 more are responsible for a printing press, and so forth. You know, we have a lot of activities. Franciscans are like rabbits everywhere, you know. Yeah, and they run, you know. So they don't breed like rabbits; they are just like rabbits. Yeah. In Romania, they also do increase a lot. So yeah, this priest was not very happy with the idea of having gypsies. The other responsible, who is a layman, a very good man as well, also he was very much against, he was doubting. Before these people arrived there, they were having an issue with stealing from the garden. Every night somebody was stealing plants, tuya tree, roses, other plants. They were just stolen and maybe sold on a black market. That's why they were afraid. The gypsies are coming, they will steal all the garden, they are lazy, they are not working. But then I insisted, you know, these gypsies, I just use their language, but although we all know they are Roma people, you know. These people will be paid by the project. You just have to make use of them, make them work, teach them to work, and make use of them. Try 1 year, you have nothing to lose. Maybe some trees, if they will be stolen, but they are stolen anyway. They come or they don't come, the trees are going anyway, you know. So we began the project. I managed to persuade them somehow. Slowly, the mentality changed, the idea changed. Of course, it was not easy. Still, it's not easy to work with them. Cars are broken, things are broken, they have to be repaired. Trees sometimes are wrongly meant, but still, the mentality of the manager and of the responsible person there changed 180 degrees, because they are very happy with the people that are working there. Even they speak out about, you know, we have wonderful people, although they are Roma, this doesn't matter, they are good workers. They are very intelligent, although many of them have never been to school. I said, you know, they are picking up very easily what they have to do. I don't have to stay behind them, just explain and that's it. Some are still struggling, but still, we say there is no forest without a dry tree. I don't know how to know what I mean anyway. I'm sure you have this expression in Swedish as well. but still the majority are really doing good. The company is happy, and they agreed on what we said from the beginning. We said we will have 10 people, but then next year, if the project continues, you, the company, have to employ 2 of them, plus the 10 ones that are coming through the project. And they agreed on that, so they have employed by now 6 people, which we should not look after anymore. They are employed by the company, and they are on a permanent contract. Imagine I was speaking with these people who are employed, and they said, "Father, it's so nice to be on holiday, stay home and have the salary going on, you know, because you have a contract, you know." They have never felt like that, you know, because they were only working on day by day. Now, because they have a permanent contract, you know, you have your own holidays, but still you receive money, and for them it's, wow, that's fantastic. Never experienced that. So imagine how things changed for them, but also for us. For us, I mean the friars me and the other friars who are more involved there, because we realized it was a challenge even for me. I was just pushing, come on, let's do it, although I had my doubts as well. I didn't know whether it will work or not, but I said if I don't take the risk, I would not see whether it was good or not. So yes, we are very, very happy with that. People are also very happy. I even shared a story just earlier with Jakob, with a young man working there now who was in our school before, and he just had his driving school and he received his license, which is a very big proud for him in front of the others who have never been to school or have been to just 1 or 2 years. He can also drive the car now, and the manager always gives, now since he took it since last week, I saw him almost every day in town with the bus, driving, you know, taking the plants, driving around there. So he is like in heaven now, because he can drive the van, you know. So it's little things maybe for us, little things, but for them are just you know, experiences of their life. Every day a new experience of my life. Being on holiday, having a license, it's wow, it's amazing. So yeah, you see, this is the manager, Bernard. Yeah, him. And this man has never been to school, so, but he is doing well. So yeah. Another project, I said that I will speak about being on a closed space. We had in the past, we had tried some skills training projects. I said about the beginning when the Italian brother was trying with the fields and other stuff. Also since I arrived, even before I arrived, but I know the brothers were trying a project with sewing courses for women to learn how to be a tailor or a beginner tailor, let's say. But they, although they were coming, still were not really frequenting. They were twice a week, these courses. They didn't have to pay anything. They were just coming, and there was a professional tailor teaching them. We had sewing machines and everything. But the ladies still didn't show a lot of interest. And even though they succeeded, they finished the course, after we tried to find some employment for them, they were not interested. I remember one went for 1 day, and they gave up. Said, no, it's not for me, it's too close, I have to sit for 8 hours, I only have 2-3 breaks, I don't know. No, I don't like it. So they didn't like it, they didn't show the interest. And then we said there's no point in continuing, finding the ladies, having a course for 3 months and then no result. They still stay home or they go abroad to do what they do here on the market. No, so we stopped that. Also, we started again now since we have started this collaboration with you. We started also a carpentry project where 5 men this time are learning how to work with wood. Even there it's not easy. They have learned a bit. They came as total ignorant. I mean, I am also total ignorant in carpentry, so they were like me, maybe a bit better than me. And now they know a bit of skills in carpentry, but still it's not easy to find work. And why I say this is because of the stigmata of being Roma. Because I have a few friends who are carpenters, and they are in need of helpers, you know, somebody who is not a professional but can help with wood, keeping the wood and things like that. But they said, no Roma, no, I don't need Roma. They have really a big stigmata back in the country. I mean, there is a separation between Romanians and Roma. Especially if they are also poor, they have less chances to integrate. I consider we Romanians don't like them. Not me, but I include myself in the majority. They don't trust us. So it's both ways, no trust. So, and this makes it very difficult for them to find work, to prove that they are honest, because if there is one thing happening one day, somebody had stolen from a bankomat machine and it was a Roma. All the Roma are the same, we think, no? And the same is here. I'm sure if somebody was, I don't know, doing burglary, most would think it's a Romanian, you know, or a Bulgarian or whatever. We have the stigmata there, and yeah, we should give up on this. For this, especially for this thing, it's good the collaboration that started with the other partner from Bucharest, Agenția Împreună, because they work a lot on this, on building bridges between Romanians and Roma, knowing each other. We to know more the Roma, and the Roma to know more the Romanians, to see that we are all human beings. I can also do bad things like they do, and they can also do good things like we do. I would say just in a few words, but Jakob would say a few more maybe when he takes the microphone. So also we mitigate as well a lot in the area where we are in Roman. Apart from having these integration projects, skills training, school, health, I said we have a holistic approach: schooling, food, health department, skills training, job creation for income generation, support through psychologists, through social worker, through helping them in the local departments getting what they need, paperwork or stuff like that. Still, there are things to be done. I forgot to mention that we have another project now with women. We called it cleaning courses for women, because one day it's also from this we wanted to see what they would like to do in their life, instead of me telling them you should do that. You tell me what would you like to do. I forgot the right expression in English for that, but it will come to my head. So I have noticed that they had no dreams. When I went, I had a meeting with women in Olympic Village, like who we are now, you know, and I asked them, please tell me what would you like to do in life? What are your dreams? And they said, cleaning dishes in a restaurant, cleaning houses, cleaning streets, maybe What else was cook, to be a cook, there were 4 or 5, so this about cleaning, various types of cleaning, waiter in a restaurant. Anyway, only this, and I asked, wouldn't you like to maybe to be a teacher? Wouldn't you like to be a police woman officer? Wouldn't you like to be an IT worker? Wouldn't you like to be a doctor or a lawyer or maybe higher education, jobs? No, I never dreamed of that. I never thought I could do that. I was never thinking of that, And so I realized they don't have dreams. It's because of the poverty of the reality that they live in. They even cannot dare to dream on more. They cannot dare to think, although I am in this stage right now, at least I can dream tomorrow I can be better off if I have enough trust in my power. I cannot dare to speak about inner power and stuff like that, because they would think I am a heretic if I would speak about that, maybe. Yes, we tried to do this course for women. So basically there are about 4 or 5 women getting some skills in cleaning, hoping that they would find a job, professional cleaner in the town. I went and I spoke with the mayor about that. I asked the mayor, we prepare the ladies, they would be professional, they will be nicely dressed, not dirty, not smelling, not whatever they have the stigmata on, So to find jobs, maybe have a company whose business is cleaning in hospitals, in hotels, in private houses, stuff like that. And the mayor said, yes, father, you teach them, you prepare them, and I'll find jobs for them. It remained only on this. The mayor actually changed since then. The new one, although I also spoke with the new one, he is not really interested in Roma issues. I cannot dare to accuse him on something, but I see he's not really interested. So we find it difficult to find jobs for them. The training is not a problem. And of course, it's a simple thing. We have done it and we still do it. Now actually when they come for training on cleaning issues, we also do support, with the psychologist, with the social worker. We do also like life support training, how is it for you to be a mother with 5 children without having a job and stuff like that, or to have to look after them without having water in your house, without having a toilet and we try to encourage them. We do some cleaning also with how to use this soap, how to use this detersive, whatever they need there. But it's also support that they receive now more. And I think it's important for them, especially because all of them have children, and because they need to know the importance of education for children, of keeping the children clean, even with the little that they have, of making the children dream for more than the parents had. So this is also a lecture given on the cleaning courses, I would say, although it's maybe weird, but it happens. Weird for somebody thinking you come for a cleaning course and you receive support on how to educate your children. Yes, it's an opportunity to do a lot of things when we meet them. We also have different other meetings for parents of the children from our school. We had meetings for pregnant women, a lot of issues, medical issues for pregnant women. we had meetings for new mothers, because pregnancy, early pregnancy also is a big issue in that Olympic village. They are not prepared to be mothers, and as a consequence, they don't look very well after their children. Not all of them, but the majority. Again, I would never speak 100%, they all do like what I say about bad things. But the majority, that's why it is an issue, because the majority is not looking after the child. Maybe 3-4 are looking after the child, their children, but the majority doesn't. So we try to address these issues. When I spoke about meeting pregnant women, new mothers, and this kind of people, the meetings were done always by the psychologist, the doctor, on reproductive health issues, the social worker. It wasn't me doing that. It was the professional people doing that, of course. So, yeah, and we are continuing doing this kind of meetings every now and again. Actually, is on regular basis. We have done it until Christmas, and we will do it again now for up till summer for those who are now pregnant or in the late pregnancy level, and again in autumn. You know, we do it often, not once and that's it. We need to do it for the new enters, you know. What else should I say? I don't have to look at my...
Should we take some questions, maybe?
Yes, yeah. Maybe I have more ideas, but maybe they will come out also while you put the questions, or those who are looking at this conference now also, they can. I'm sure they can also write questions, no?
Yes, I thought. Jag får påminna, vi får in frågor här via sms, och ni får gärna fortsätta skicka in, så ska vi ställa dem här. 0768 000 115 om ni missade det tidigare. Så skicka gärna in fler frågor. So very interesting to listen to you. I'm sure we have a lot of questions. When I visited you, it must be 2 years ago now, maybe?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, I remember this. We talked a lot about the hopes and dreams of people, and that a big part of the job is to actually
give them a boost.
Spark that, give them a boost.
Yeah.
Because the situation is so hopeless sometimes. Could you tell us just a little bit more about the situation in Olympic Village? How does it look there? What do you come to when you come to the Olympic Village?
For me now, it looks normal because I am used to it, but you can ask Maria how she felt after she came back from Olympic Village or Tinder, yeah. Also, Jakob now is more used to it because he's been more often. But yeah, it's like hell. I just mentioned that it's like hell there. How it looks now than how it looked 2 years ago is no difference. Maybe a bit worse, I would say. I mean, the municipality owns the place and the barns. Actually, there are 4 barns transformed into apartments, so-called. In every barn, during the communism, used to be 200 cows, and now there are more than 200 people in every barn. Detached apartments, you know, 1 room for 1 family. No toilet, no water, and yeah, just a stove somehow, somewhere. The municipality repairs sometimes the walls, I don't know, change it, bulb or a thing like that, but not a big improvement. Although I addressed the issue. At one instance, the mayor said, okay, Father, I put you responsible to look after the 4 people who are responsible for each barn. Each barn has an administrator, so-called, who is in charge of keeping the premises clean, of maybe improving them a bit, of looking after the garbage and stuff like that. And because nothing was improving, we had a campaign of cleaning. We went once and cleaned everything, and then in a few weeks it was again dirty. So the mayor said, okay, Father, you look after them, you, if they are doing something wrong, you tell them off or things like that. But it wasn't a good idea, and it's not my duty to do that anyway. I would not be able to, and it's not fair, because we are the ones whom the people trust. I can address them and say, you know, you should do that, you should do that. I went once, I remember when we had the environmental campaign and I was collecting the garbage. And I said, why don't you join me in collecting the garbage? Some people say, it's not my business. I said, it's not my business either, but I want this place to be clean. This should be done by the cleaners, those who are paid by the municipality to clean after us. They said, I said, okay, that's true, but you see, we do that. The children from our school were cleaning as well, and the adults were not cleaning. You know, I mean, imagine going in the city center with the children from one school, cleaning the house, and the parents just looking at them and laughing at us, you know, taking us for granted sometimes. So, yeah, it's a problem of education. That's why I think education solves a lot of things.
Do we have any questions from the room? Over there.
Jag behöver hjälp med min engelska. Sorry. Jag tror att jag missuppfattade någonting i berättelsen om det här med open space när man odlade lavendel. Jag uppfattade att vår gäst ville koppla ihop detta sammanhang med att det var jobbigt att sitta och lära sig sy i 8 timmar på samma spot. Men jag missar något där. Alltså om det handlar om frihet på något sätt, att man hellre jobbar liksom i öppnare system. Det var det ena. Och det andra är mer en kommentar istället för en fråga. Jag har hört att socialtjänsten i Uppsala särskilt har uppmärksammat hur unga föräldrar ifrån romska familjer är fantastiska på anknytning. Föredömligt skickliga på anknytning. Sen är det klart att det finns jättemycket bekymmer när man blir ung förälder. Men jag tyckte det var vackert att skicka med.
Yes. So the question about this open space, the working in field versus sitting inside sewing, etc. What was the connection? Why was it more interesting for them to work in the field?
My explanation is also going back into their background. Roma people have been slaves for over 500 years. Is the highest population to be kept as slaves. None of the other minorities in Europe and in the United States and in Asia have been slaves for so many years. But Roma in Romania, and not only in Europe, even in some other countries, have been slaves for about 500, even over 500 years. This explains that they have been kept into a closed space, you know. That's my explanation. Of course, I can be wrong, but I have my reasons why I say that. So they don't like closed space. They are not claustrophobic as we would think today, but working in an open field, feeling that they are free. You know, you are free. You are not kept closed by nothing. You know. And they feel better being free. They like freedom, you know. Of course, these people now have been born free. They were not slaves. Slavery has been eradicated about 100 years ago, maybe more. I haven't got the right years. That's why I wouldn't dare to say the precise. I'm not a historian. So anyway. But I know for sure that they have been over 500 years slaves. That's why I think it explains they like more freedom, open space, it gives them freedom.
And you also had a comment about the social services in Uppsala had done a study on, was it Roma people or and young women having children who are exceptionally good at anknytning, connecting with the child. And they had done a study and they had seen that. So that was a hopeful message about that the Roma people actually have a very good connection to the child and were exceptional in that way. I don't know what the study was about, but that was your comment. Yeah.
But do you think they had a good connection? Mother with the child had a better connection than maybe you would have with your child?
Yeah, a little bit that way.
Because it could be good, it could be, I mean, I trust what you say, but what I see is that how they look after their children, and it scares you if you would see how they look after their children. The violence is the rule number one. Not feeding the children properly, again, it's a big issue. Not washing them properly, not clothing them properly, and this is not really a good connection from my point of view. You know, I mean, if they would have all the facilities, of course, they would be wonderful mothers, and they would have this connection. The love, it doesn't matter how rich or how poor you are, the love, it's different, you know. But as I see, is the connection is not really good. That's why it's good you mentioned that, because I forgot to mention a program. You have seen some pictures, the ICDP program that we have had. Maybe you heard about this because it's a Scandinavian inventor. International Child Development Program is especially for those who are coming in contact with children, either mothers or grandmothers or caregivers. Could be teachers, especially mothers and grandmothers, or parents anyway. So we have been trained, and in our turn we trained the mothers of these children from Olympic Village, some teachers from other schools. Just recently, like 3 months ago, we became trainers. There are 4 of us, from me also, although I don't have a lot to do with that, but I was also involved in the program, and 3 more girls from in connection with our center. One is working for us, and one also is a teacher in our school, and one is a psychologist. So basically we are now able to train new facilitators who could train new caregivers. We have reached already through this program to, I would say, over 50 Roma mothers, more, I would say more, at least the ones that we work with. But in total, it spread out to over 200 people who learned about good methods how to care for your children. Because basically the idea of the program is how to better care for your child, how to look at the child's needs, how to interpret when the child is crying, when the child is smiling, when the child needs affection, when the child needs loneliness and stuff like that.
It's a wide range of projects you have now.
I can say, although I have no children, I am an expert in children. So if you want to try me, you can ask me to look after one or two.
A babysitter. Yeah, we have a question from one of our viewers around the country. Have you followed the children who's been to your school and seen if what has happened after, what they got in jobs or kept?
Yes, I just mentioned one example of the boy who got his license last week. I've followed him since first day in school. Now he is working. He has in his turn 2 children already, so he is a grown-up. We are following the children after they finish with us, I would say. They do in our center the what you call first grade, from kindergarten to year 4. From the 5th class they would go in the public schools in the town. Our aim is to make the majority to go, all of them to go. Unfortunately, not all are going, and not all are staying. We also follow that, and we also support them after they finish with us. I also mentioned earlier about supporting them through to continue frequent school, through helping them with school material, you know, pencils, books, sometimes even if they are in a very bad situation, even maybe some clothes. Sometimes we receive clothes from our brothers from Italy, our Franciscan brothers in Italy. Once a year they send us a lorry with second-hand clothes. I ask them to be more clothes for children because that's what we use more. All the children that we have and that you have seen, most of the clothes are from us, you know, from our second-hand storage there. So yeah, we do follow them, but still some are dropping out of school. The majority, because we know now we have all the details, you know, through the social worker, we go and we check on them and we make sure that they are going to school, and if they don't go, we also ask why. The majority who has dropped out of school is because they have gone abroad.
De har åkt utomlands eller?
Went out in a foreign country.
Do we have more questions? I saw some hands. Niklas will assist you with the mic.
I was just thinking, are the people in this community also beggars? Do they go to Sweden sometimes?
I know two men, actually one family, who told me that they once came to Sweden and they mentioned Sweden is heaven. Oh, Father, I went to Sweden, it's heaven in Sweden. I don't know why I'm still staying in this hell. Sweden is heaven. I remember, I think I was with somebody either from Sweden or from Norway, or I don't know with whom I was, but I remember just this expression that Sweden was like heaven. Because maybe they were welcomed here, people were giving them money outside the church or wherever they were begging. Still in Roman they are going to beg. Just an instance, and also to tell you why the parents don't really treasure the importance of education. Still many don't treasure that. On Friday and on Saturday for the Orthodox Church was a feast when they are remembering those who have died, and they go into the cemetery, say some prayers to the graveyard and offer something in the honor of the deceased, like offer a cake or offer something to the poor, they would say. They also give a lot to the priest, you know, and to those who are with the priest, but they also give to the poor. These are the days when the beggars are in the cemetery, because they receive a lot, you know. And I had a very, very bad experience to see that half of the school was missing. Last Friday just. Saturday I went myself in the cemetery, not because I was, but because my mother came and we went to my grandmother to say some prayers. These were the days for the Orthodox Church. We, the Catholics, have a different calendar, as you also have a different, no? So, but I happened to go in the cemetery and I met a lot of children, but on Friday, half the children were not in school. And we asked those who came to school, why are they missing? Because they are in the cemetery. And why you didn't go? Because I think it's more important school. Good. Those who stayed, those who came on Friday to school, received, I managed to, I don't know, I gave them chocolate, I gave them pasta, I gave them a lot of sweets, so to make a bigger pack than those who received in the cemetery, you know. So that when they go home to say, you know, I went to school and I get a bigger pack from school than you got from the cemetery, you know, from the when begging, and even better chocolate, better, you know, better tuna, whatever can. So yeah, it is still an issue. I'm sure the children are not guilty. I mean, I would never accuse the child for that, because they are often sent by their parents. A lot were with the parents to beg in the cemetery, not by themselves, with their parents or with their grown-up siblings. And yes, it's a problem, begging.
What are the rules on begging in Romania today?
No rules.
No, it's allowed in the streets.
Yes, it's allowed. If you are pushy, sometimes maybe, and if I don't know, go to the police, say, look, he or she was very pushy, then maybe they get a ticket. But yeah, no rule on no begging.
I just was thinking, because I met a lot of people who beg and they sleep in our church once a week. And what I see is that their main aim is getting a better life for their children. So that's why they are here. And I also hear that their children start school, which the others don't. And also they try to get better housing and so on. So I guess for them, they are very ambitious. They want a better life. And they have not given up hope, in a way. And that's why they come here. So that's my impression. I don't know if you would.
I would say those who come here are the lucky ones.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, of course, even from our target group, we have parents who look for a better life, and they come to, for instance, even when we have for Mother's Day, we have a party, children play. You know, when they act like actors, or they do, I don't know, a play or something like that. Or for Christmas, before Christmas, they would have the nativity play. And when you have this with your children or grandchildren, you all go and look and clap and encourage them. When we had it, just a few parents turn up, which showed to us that the parents are not interested in that, you know. I mean, if you wouldn't go to see your child giving a play, you know, the child will be very upset, and you also would be upset. How I cannot be there and I cannot be present to see my child performing, you know. For them, it wasn't really an interesting. Some turn up. The last play we had was for Mother's Day. Yeah, Mother's Day. Also, we have a special day. Children perform something nice. Even some pictures were those who were with singing. They were from the Mother's Day, the films. There were more parents coming, and I was happy. And we informed them. You know, we gave them a week before. Every day we gave the children a notice to take home and say, on Thursday next week there will be a party for mothers, but fathers are welcomed as well. You know, so to give them notice, and they would know that they should come and look after and see their children performing. But yeah, still it's a good way.
We have time for another question, and then we're gonna have a little break, I think. But one more question.
Yes, I'm very sorry to hear and to see that the housing still has not been better, even it has been worse. Because I refer to the presentation we saw in 2015 when Gustav came to Kumlaby. And then we saw that the men, they were educated in making blocks in concrete.
Yeah,
and
I forgot to mention that.
Would be for the housing, and the men were teach to repair machines. So I thought there should be some more things done by the men. And here we have the women.
I forgot to mention this activity with the brick factory. We also have a brick factory in our place. The idea of this is that the machine that we have to make the bricks, it was given by the Franciscan brothers from Italy, Padua, and they said, we give you the machine, and whatever you make out of the machine, you use it as an income to sustain the project. So that was the idea, and we have now 3 men working there, and we make bricks. So buy cement, buy sand, buy stones and everything that you need, and then make a big block of bricks, and then sell them. It didn't go very well because we are not professional marketing businessmen, you know. So I'm sure if it will be somebody who would have skills in being manager in marketing, we would have a better selling. But still, we hope for a better. That's why we are now thinking of maybe having a big camion to take the bricks, deliver the bricks, because many say, I want 200 bricks, but I have nobody to take them home. I cannot carry them on my shoulder, you know. So the activity actually it is for making money to support the project. We estimated in the past that this activity will make 5% of the annual budget to run all this that I spoke about, you know, and don't rely always on the Swedish money, you know, to make some income. But still, it didn't make that amount of money, especially in the last 2 years, because of bad management, because of a lot of issues, because of the machine being broken sometimes. But still, we were thinking a lot behind what can we do to improve and to sell more and to make more money, of course, so that also the people, because we were in a stage when we thought we couldn't keep anymore these 3 men working. They were also poor men. Now they are a bit better, you know, because they make money on the number of bricks that they make. So the more they make and they are correct, not broken, the more money they get. It doesn't matter whether we sell them quickly or not, they still get paid. So we kept it. We started right now, just last week we started again to produce bricks. We increased a bit the prices this year because somebody who is a businessman said, Father, if you make the best bricks, you should have the higher price. Because we make the best bricks because of the machine that we have, not we. The machine makes them hard, very good bricks, better than the others that have. So they said you should have the higher price because quality, it is showed also on on this. So yeah, but the bricks are not to make houses. For the poor people to have a house, they should have a land and then think of building a house. They have no land.
Well, then I understand that. I thought it was supposed to be for the building of the better houses for the people.
If they would have land, we could help them build their own houses with bricks and stuff, but they cannot. They were slaves, I mentioned, so they had no land. After they became free, they were not given property. They were just let free on the streets. That's why they started to make a lot of delinquents, because they had to live from something. Many came back to their owners, so-called, to ask for work and stay in the same place, just that they were a free men. But still they were not owners of land, of house, of property. And still many aren't owners.
Well, thank you so much for sharing these stories. I think it's very interesting to hear, and I enjoy hearing both about the things that's going really well and the things that you've tried and try to change to make it better, that it's a learning process this all the time. So it's very interesting to hear that. We're going to need to take a little break, but we want to thank you so much. I'm sure you will have to come back up here after the break also, but we're going to listen some to Jakob as well, that's going to talk a little bit about the Church of Sweden's work and how we try to support you, and also another organization in Romania that we're working with. But thank you so much. Round of applause for Lucian for coming here and telling us about his work. Thank you very much.
I thank you also as well.
Thank you. Till er som tittar hemifrån eller från församlingshemmet, alltså 10 minuters paus, sen kommer vi tillbaka. Fyll på kaffekopparna, det får ni också göra här. Så ses vi här om 10 minuter. Prick!
And also about the I've already mentioned about the bridges.
Yes.
And you want to make.
Stänger du av de här bilderna? Ja, jag tänker att eller ska vi ha dem i bak? Du kanske digital
These pictures were not made by you?
No. I remember sending you the prints, but
yes,
I'm not sure I sent
I remember last time you sent me a link.
Yes.
Would you like your blog?
Yes. Would you like some more?
Yes. Because you know what I use is presenting the work. Yeah.
Sure. I will send you. Now I'm going home to my wife.
Good. Very good.
Thank you so much.
Very much. Nice meeting you.
And I will say, yes, I will say I will give you Susanna. Of course.
And also from Maria, I will say myself.
Men det är väl ett par. Ja, det ska han göra det. Ja, jag tänker du...
Now we're going to take some... Yes, please.
Då tror vi att tekniken är med oss. Vi vinkar lite till Umeå och Kummelby och andra. Och välkomnar alla tillbaka in i lokalen. Nu ska vi få lyssna till Jakob Sundmark som jobbar här på internationella avdelningen och handlägger Rumänien och Egypten. Är det något? Det är de?
Ja, Libanon lite
och
grann.
Libanon lite grann också. Så du ska få berätta lite ytterligare om vårt arbete i Rumänien. Varsågod.
Tack så mycket. Vad trevligt. Det är fantastiskt att höra Lucian tala här. Man blir ju, även om man har varit på plats och ser det mer där, så blir man engagerad även genom det Lucian berättar. Jag ville säga någonting mer om vad vi stödjer i Rumänien, och sen så vill jag också ta mig friheten och ge några kommentarer till det Lucian nyss har berättat också. Vi har ju haft samarbete med FOP sedan då 2014. Men för något år sedan så insåg vi att vi behöver också ha en påverkanskomponent i det arbetet som vi gör i Rumänien. Alltså helt enkelt några som jobbar mer med påverkan gentemot myndigheter och försöker påverka genomföra attitydförändringar och sådana här saker som är oerhört viktigt. Och då var vi nere på en resa, några stycken, och mötte ungefär 16 stycken organisationer, stora som små. Och fastnade för en organisation som är baserad i Bukarest och som heter Agenția Împreună. Och de jobbar bara med det är en romsk organisation som jobbar med påverkansfrågor kring romska frågor då. Och det vi stöttar dem i, för de jobbar med flera olika saker, men det vi stöttar i deras projekt är ett arbete med att försöka förändra läroplanen i skolan. Där man i historia, där inte romernas historia finns med överhuvudtaget. Man får inte veta, säger skolan, att romerna var slavar fram till 1840-talet någonstans, så att de blev väldigt utsatta under andra världskriget och förintelsen och sånt här. Så där försöker man förändra. Då har man kontakt med utbildningsdepartementet, den här organisationen, och försöker påverka dem i läroplanen, och samtidigt som man också utbildar lärare över hela landet för att försöka få dem att undervisa i det här och så vidare. Och det här med attitydförändringar har varit en viktig del för mig i min process i det här arbetet, när jag har lärt känna Rumänien mer och lärt känna många olika organisationer. Vi är ju ungefär 50 svenska organisationer som jobbar i Rumänien. Och vi är en, sen finns det många andra som ni känner till. Och det jag ser när jag möter deras andras arbete är att många jobbar med skola, många jobbar med andra chansen-utbildning, men det är nästan ingen som jobbar med attitydförändringar och försöka påverka myndigheter. Och som jag ser det så det är där vi skulle behöva jobba mycket mer. Och detta gör Agenția Împreună på ett jättebra sätt, och det är vi väldigt tacksamma för. Så har vi de två parterna har vi i Rumänien, och vi är glada för att ha dem, och FUP gör ju franciskaner gör ett fantastiskt arbete nere i Rumänien. Dock så vill jag nämna några saker. Jag skulle vilja nämna en väldigt positiv grej, för som ni hörde om på slutet här, som pratar om den här tegelstensfabriken eller tegelstenstillverkningen som finns, där det finns en så att säga produktionslinje där de kan producera tegelstenar. Tre personer tror jag Lucian sa som jobbade där. Och då är det så att biskop Per Eckerdahl går i pension här biskop Per i Göteborg går i pension, och då bestämde han inför sin pension att han ville samla in pengar till det här projektet P220. Men då ville han specificera sin insamling lite grann, och då ville han dels samla in pengar så att de har möjlighet att köpa en tegelstenslinje till för att kunna producera fler tegelstenar. Och dessutom då, som ni förstod, så är det ett dilemma av att det är inte så att folk kommer dit och köper tegelstenar, utan man behöver få ut tegelstenar till människor som vill köpa dem. Så han vill också samla in pengar till en pick-up eller någonting för att kunna få ut dem här. Och det har vi lyckats fått in väldigt mycket pengar på den här insamlingen, vilket vi är glada för. Och vi har fått NCA att lägga in i budgeten, så vi ska försöka kunna klara av det här i år, eller förhoppningsvis i år, för det är för budgeten för i år som det finns med och så. Så att det är väldigt lyckosamt, och väldigt glada för den insamlingen som man valde att göra där. Och biskop Per med ett gäng från Göteborgs stift åker ner i nästa vecka för att besöka Lucian och få upp, och så får vi se hur de också får se på plats. Då är det ju inte allting på plats förstås, men då får de också se på riktigt hur det ser ut där och så. Det som jag också tycker är intressant att nämna eller betona snarare, som Lucian redan har sagt, det är det här arbetet med lavendelodlingen i den här företaget som heter Green Time, alltså den trädgårdsodlingen och den lavendelodlingen som håller på. Där har vi just den här biten med attitydförändringar som sker. När en person ifrån början är oerhört negativt inställd till att det ska komma romer och jobba hos honom. Och de tror inte på det här, som man sa, så de kommer att stjäla eller de kommer att göra någonting. Men de kan trycka på, anledningen till att de kan trycka på, det är att det är franciskanerna som äger marken. Det är därför de kan vara så hårda i sin mening med att de ska komma och jobba här. Och den attitydförändringen hos den här mannen då, där han efter en säsong, vi var där efter en säsong, jag kommer inte ihåg ifall det var, just det, Gustav var gott, men vi hade fotografer med oss, hur som helst, då träffade vi den här chefen för den här trädgårdsodlingen och frågade just det här, men hur gick nu den här säsongen nu då? Hur fungerar det här? Och han var jätteglad och tyckte det här var jättebra, det här måste ni fortsätta med, det här får inte sluta. De jobbar jättebra, precis som Lucian berättade så var det en riktig framgångssaga vad gäller både möjligheter, förstås viktigast att de här fattiga människorna som bor faktiskt i det mest fattiga man kan se, får möjlighet att få egna riktiga pengar att ta hem, så att säga. Det är otroligt stort. Och sen som andra punkter då, dels att de fattiga personerna får pengar, men också att attitydförändring hos den här personen. Och attitydförändring tydligen som har ringar på vattnet, enligt vad Lucian berättade. Sen vill jag också lyfta upp en sak som inte var så tydligt, men som jag tycker är ganska intressant med det här. Det är det här ekumeniska samarbetet som absolut inte är självklart i Rumänien. Det finns inga jättefina och goda och kamratliga kontakter mellan rumänsk-ortodoxa kyrkan och katoliker eller protestanter, så att säga. Men då har vi den här Fader Popovic, som han heter, som är rumänsk-ortodox, som jobbar då tillsammans med FUP i det här arbetet med eftermiddagsverksamhet för barnen. Och så är vi då från Svenska kyrkan och Kyrkans nödhjälp med och stöttar det arbetet. Så då har vi ett ekumeniskt samarbete mellan rumänsk-ortodoxa kyrkan, mellan katoliker och mellan oss lutheraner. Och det tycker jag är värt att lyfta upp, för att det är, som sagt, det är inte så att den här, eller helt enkelt, det är inte speciellt vanligt, utan snarare tvärtom. Det ses inte på med så blida ögon, och det tycker jag är intressant. Sen tänkte jag på det här med, jag tror att det blir det sista jag säger, om det inte finns någon möjlighet till frågor till mig förstås, men jag tänkte på de här generationslånga förändringarna som det vi talar om här. Vi talar inte om att vi kan ha en projektcykel på 3 år och sen ska vi se att vi har gjort en förändring, utan det går oerhört långsamt. Och det kan till synes, kan jag tänka, när vi står i det här jobbet just nu, så ser vi kanske inte någon direkt förändring just nu, för stegen är så små. Utan vi måste se sådana här förändringar över generationer. Det är jättelånga förändringsprocesser det här. Speciellt eftersom det gäller, till syvende och sist så gäller det attitydförändringar. Och då tycker jag att det är intressant, jag fick höra en person, det här har jag inte kommit på själv, men det var en person som jag lyssnade på för drygt 1 år sedan som har jobbat en del med i Rumänien också. Men han försökte liksom, för att vi skulle försöka sätta oss in i de här, alltså varför inte föräldrarna värdesätter skolutbildningen till exempel och så. Och då måste vi vi kan nog inte till fullo göra det, men försöka tänka oss in i följande situation. Att ingen som vi känner någonsin, ingen i våran släkt, vare sig förfäder någonsin eller någon i släkten runt omkring oss, eller någon vi känner överhuvudtaget, någonsin har gått i skolan. Hur stor är då chansen att man själv skulle, så att säga, välja att det är en möjlighet för mig att gå i skolan och bli någonting? Den chansen är förmodligen oerhört liten, förmodligen försumbar. Om du också vidare tänker dig att ingen du känner har haft ett arbete. Ingen som du har haft, din morfar, din far, din farmor, någon du i släkten överhuvudtaget har haft ett förvärvsarbete och gått till jobbet varje dag och börjat jobba 8:00, kom hem 5:00. Ingen du känner, ingen släkt, ingen du bor med, ingen du någonsin har träffat som är som du, så att säga, har haft ett jobb. Hur stor är då chansen att du skulle se jobb som en möjlighet till förändring i ditt liv? Förmodligen så är det väldigt liten chans. Och det är det, för mig blev det viktigt att höra den frågan, för att det är då man kan förstå att det är inte så självklart att föräldrarna värdesätter utbildning för barnen, utan ser att de ska göra andra saker. För de ser inte den här möjligheten att det ska kunna ske någon förändring, ska kunna bli någonting senare i alla fall. Jag tror att det var vad jag ville säga just nu. Sen finns det förstås många utmaningar och sånt där. Men jag tror att det var det jag ville säga just nu.
Stort tack. Jag tror att det finns frågor.
Mm.
Finns det fler frågor i rummet till Jakob eller till Lucian som vi inte hann med innan våran rast? Så upp med en hand. Jag ska kika om någon har skickat något.
Jag skulle vilja fråga, de som kommer hit och sitter här utanför våra affärer, tänker vi att det är romer eller finns det andra fattiga, utsatta människor där i Rumänien?
Det finns fattiga människor i Rumänien. Jag skulle egentligen ställa till Lucian den här frågan egentligen. Min uppfattning är väl att Lucian and his friars in FUP, they are serving all vulnerable people in this town of Roman. And I think about 94-95% of them are Roma people, and the rest are poor Romanians. Så att det är klart att det finns flera. Jag menar, vi stöttar ju arbete som vill stödja alla fattiga eller alla utsatta människor. Men i det här fallet så är det i mestadels romer. Och hur situationen ser ut i Sverige hos oss, det tror jag att det är andra i rummet som kan svara på bättre än vad jag kan göra.
Det är mest romer. Nästan uteslutande. Jag har ägnat min sjukskrivning åt att åka runt och prata med romer, höll jag på att säga. Och 2 gånger tror jag stött på rumäner som tigger, som inte har varit romer. Men nästan alla är romer. Från Bulgarien eller Rumänien. Och de allra flesta i Stockholm. Du kommer inte ihåg var du var ifrån. Ja, just det, var Heby. Ja. I Stockholm är de från Babadak. Det är en annan ort än Roman.
Det är ingen fråga igen. Jag blev bara helt knockad utav den här informationen ifrån Fader Lucian om slavidentitet. Så ofantligt lång. Jag blev helt tagen. Och då tänker jag så här. Då är det på något sätt en vinning att plötsligt vara fri tiggare. Alltså, då kan ju det vara i ens egen bubbla liksom ett steg framåt i sitt liksom trånga perspektiv. Och jag tänker på det antropologer och sociologer säger om människor som har levt i konflikthärdar. Alltså att det är samma sak där, att man kan ju ärva uppfattning och identitet och beteende generationer fram. Om man länge i ett land har varit utsatt liksom för förtryck också i krigs... så jag tyckte det var värdefullt för att höra, men det var tungt.
Här har vi en fråga.
Ekonomin undrar jag lite grann över, hur mycket ni samlar in och räcker det ni har samlat in?
Det räcker det vi samlar in. Vi har en budget på 1,5 miljon till båda de här projekten totalt. Som vi skickar då till NCA och som NCA förmedlar ner till Rumänien. Och den budgeten håller vi varje år. Och det är vi väldigt glada för. Eftersom det här stöds bara av insamlade medel från alla er engagerade ute i landet. Så stort tack för allt engagemang och all insamling. Ja, det kan det göra. Och det är i så fall sånt som då ackumuleras, så att vi har möjlighet att bibehålla projektet under en lång tid, eftersom långsiktighet är viktigt i detta. Men jag kan inte säga exakt, det är inte jag som sköter, det är inte jag som ser det. Jag handlägger så att säga projektet på ett annat sätt. Jag har inte hand om ekonomin, så jag kan inte säga exakt. Men det stämmer, som Jakob säger, att vi får in vissa år lite mer än vad vi har satt målet. Men precis som Jakob säger så sparas de pengarna till kommande år. Så att det är inget som försvinner ut någon annanstans, utan det går till projektet.
I debatten nu senaste veckorna om tiggeriförbud så har det ju varit uppe det här att man säger att det är ovärdigt att människor ska sitta och tigga. Det vore bättre om de hade det bättre hemma. Den känslan som jag får efter det Lucian har berättat, det är liksom att det är inte så hoppfullt, känns det som. Och som jag nämnde också, att det är de lyckliga som kommer hit. Det vore kanske intressant att höra en utveckling av det. Men då det gäller förändringen i Rumänien så talas det också om EU-bidrag. Och i vilken mån de används och kommer till användning. Så har ni någon kommentar och så kring den saken?
Det första jag kan svara på, eller jag kan svara på båda på mitt sätt. Och det första jag vill säga med det här med tiggeriförbud vill jag inte säga någonting. Det jag vill säga är att jag vill ställa de som förespråkar det vill att de ska ställa sig en fråga då. Vad tror de händer om det skulle bli ett förbud? Vad tror de att det skulle förändra för de som är längst ut där och är de som är fattiga? De som sitter där med muggen. För vem på vilket sätt skulle livet bli bättre för den personen? Den frågan behöver de ställa sig, tycker jag. För att det är inte så säkert att oavsett vad man tycker om tiggeri så förmodligen så skulle de, om de är tvingade eller frivilligt, det är svårt att säga, men det är jag tror att låt oss säga då att för de som brukar förespråka detta brukar också tänka att de sitter där av tvång och samlar in pengar till andra. Om det nu skulle bli förbjudet, vad skulle då de här som tvingar dem att göra detta, vad skulle de då tvinga dem till istället för det där? För de skulle ju inte ge sig. Det är ju inte så att de skulle förstå, aha, det blir förbjudet. Nej men okej, nu går vi in till en hedlig business här istället. Så jag tycker man måste ställa sig frågan, vad får de här fattigaste människorna för liv då? Det tycker jag, den frågan behöver man ställa sig. Vad gäller det här med EU-bidragen så vet jag att det har varit en fråga kring det och att det används, men att det inte kanske används i den utsträckning som det skulle kunna göra. Det är ungefär det jag kan säga där.
Apropå det, jag hörde den här nationella utredaren Valfridsson för flera år sedan, så sa just det att, vet jag inte om det stämmer, alltså att Rumänien består av väldigt många små kommuner. Och för att söka de här EU-pengarna så måste man också ha kompetens att skriva bra ansökningar. Och det vet vi ju, bara våra ideella organisationer i Sverige klarar ofta inte av att skriva ansökningar för medel från Socialstyrelsen eller andra. Så att det menar, i de här små kommunerna sitter kanske en borgmästare som kanske har en sekreterare och kanske inte heller riktigt klarar språket. Så det menar han var det största hindret. Och då skulle det vara oerhört viktigt att se till hur man skulle kunna hjälpa till och ge kompetens i det här ansökningsförfarandet från svenskt håll. För det skulle vara en möjlighet att öka sannolikheten att man klarar av att söka de medel som finns.
Och sånt stödarbete pågår. Ja. Jag vet inte hur stor utsträckning, men det pågår.
Fler frågor? Nu ringer din telefon, vad oturligt.
Jag vill bara säga om människohandel. Jag ska säga också att jag har jobbat nu i min tjänst ett halvår med migrantfrågan. Och människohandel, när jag pratar med på socialen i Stockholm så finns det något som heter EU-teamet. De säger att de har aldrig sett något sådant tecken i Stockholm. Och även en socialsekreterare som jobbar på ett projekt som heter Bättre hälsa för romer. Hon säger att hon har ibland kunnat se utnyttjande, och då menar hon att det kan vara någon, i den här formen, att det kan vara någon gammal familjemedlem som borde vara hemma, tycker de. Men då säger hon att men jag gör det här för min familj och mina barn. Och jag tänker bara att deras kollektiva känsla är så mycket större än vår. De ser sig som familj och kollektiv, och det de gör för familjen kan vara en uppoffring, men den kan vara frivillig. Sen där med att de organiserar sig på tiggarplatser, vad jag har sett av det är ju att och det säger också EU-teamet, att det är familjer som fördelar platser mellan sig. Vi hade en kvinna som bodde hos oss som när hennes man dog, då fick hon bästa platsen i Mörby centrum då, som den här familjen hade. Att de är solidariska med varandra snarare än att man lägger beslag på. Så har jag uppfattat det. Ja, men sen tänker jag jättemycket på det här du säger, Peter, om att vad vi kan göra medan de är här för att stärka återvändandet som jag tror ändå de längtar efter för att få vara med sina barn. Men vad kan vi göra under den här tiden? Det är också en del, det lokala arbetet, liksom. Hur vi kan få ihop med det som görs andra delar av.
Då har vi en fråga. Har vi fått tillbaka våra vänner där ute? Snart har vi dem tillbaka. Vi tar en fråga.
I have heard that during the Ceausescu time, then it was obligation for children to go to school. But now we heard that during that time they were not. So what do you know about it? Did they go to school when? That is 30 years?
Yes, it's 27 years, 28 years ago, 27 in December last. There were more going to school during communism time because of the compulsory law. It is an obligation even now, but still there is no punishment if you don't send the child to school. I mean, there is an obligation. The law says you should send your child to school, to primary school. But if you don't send it, nobody will come and give you a ticket or will take your child to the child protection department. It's just a law, like many other laws, but I wouldn't go into political things now. So, yes, during communism there were more going to school. I had school during communism. I was 9.5 when Ceausescu died. So I remember I also had a Roma colleague in my class. He wouldn't pick up any classes. He had to repeat 3 times the class. So maybe they were not very much different than now in terms of getting involved into education, but still they had to go to school obligatory.
Tack. Vi ber om ursäkt att vi tappade er där ute som följer streamingen, men nu ska ni vara tillbaka. Kanske med lite sämre ljud tyvärr, men vi hoppas att ni hör ändå. Ett par frågor till från rummet, och ni där hemma i församling eller hemmet får givetvis skicka in också. Telefonen ligger där och väntar. Har vi någon mer fråga? Eller reflektion som ni vill dela? Börjar vi känna oss fullärda i ämnet Rumänien helt enkelt?
What would you consider would be the most important for us to do? Except from, sorry.
I wonder what Father Lucian might think about what would be the most important for us in Sweden to do. We know about your project, but for the overall situation.
It's not easy to pick up one thing that is most important to do. You know, so many things that we need to do. You and us, we need to do together, you know, for these people. I think education, politics for education. It is called positive discrimination in Romania, although it's not the right term. So to do some politics in order that you make these children go to school and make the parents allow the children to go to school, encourage them somehow with these positive discrimination types of projects. Because the more education you get, the more opportunities you have later. And we have seen, I shared with Jakob previous to the meeting, there are now children going home and getting upset with the situation from home, you know, because they say, I come to school, it's a nice, it's a better world, it's a totally different. Then I go home, it's dirt, it's violence, is what you call desperation, you know.
And sometimes they tell their parents, oh, so the children tell the parents, I feel better at school than at home. Or, you know, things like that. They start to see the difference. They start to see the better way through schooling. It is not very stable. I mean, a child has this thought now, but tomorrow might have a different thought, because it's easy to change the mind of a child, you know, especially as a mother or as a father. But still, at least this glimpse that they come home and they'll tell the parents, it is, you know, it's nice in the school, I learned this and I learned that, and maybe the mother says, I don't care, go to, I don't know, go to beg or something. Might not be that, but anyway, yeah. So maybe the most important thing is education, in which I include also education for skills.
Ja. Om vi bara kan få också ditt svar. Lukas gav oss ett svar på vad vi kan säga till de i Sverige som vill förbjuda tiggeri. Vi fick 2 bra exempel från Lukas, men vad kan vi säga till den debatten i Sverige?
En fråga till Lucian. Yeah. What we can say to people that want to forbid begging in Sweden? What do you think is a good argument against that?
It's the 3rd time I come to Sweden, and it's I've been twice to Norway, and so 5th time in altogether when I was asked this question. And my answer is, do what you think you want to do. Because I wouldn't say forbid begging, I wouldn't say allow begging. For political reasons, first of all. Only I say what I share with you what I do. I never give money to beggars, because this encourages them to make a living out of begging only. If I have something with me, some sweets, some, I don't know, maybe a sandwich in my pocket, and I find a poor begging for food, I share what I have, but no money. Never. This, I think, is better. Especially I have candies in the car, always when I stop to the traffic lights. There are children begging, I give a candy and that's it. But no money, because I think it encourages them to make it as a job. They tell me I go to work, which means I go to beg. Of course, they can tell you, and they can tell all of us, it's the only chance in my life to make money, to build a house, to send the children to school, to buy medicine, to various things, which you hear, I think, every day, no? When you ask them why you beg, and they tell you, for house, for school, for medicine, and so and so. Still, I don't think it's the only way to make money for living. And I see the children begging, and this is really, really, really bad. I mean, I can understand an old person begging because it's maybe what you call homeless, you know. But I would never understand a child begging while he or she should be in school. And in Romania we have a lot of children begging. Here they are not allowed. But we have a lot, especially children in Romania, beg because they are more, they can make you more sensitive. You know, it breaks your heart and you give something, you know. So that's why the children are used. There are a lot. I'm sure there are networks for children to beg. I even watched once in Roman, before I worked for the project, I gave something to a child, and I was watching what the child is doing with what I gave, and went to an adult around the corner and gave it to the adult. So that means the child was used. So that's my answer. I never give money. If I have something sweet, I give because they eat it there, and that's it.
Tack. It's a complicated situation, this, and as you say, education is a key, which you work with a lot in this project. And Is there any more questions now? Otherwise, I think we're gonna round up. Vi kollar telefonen också så att vi inte missar något. But the project you're working on is in the educational part. It's very successful and it's doing a great deal of good for many people. Så att jag skulle vilja rikta ett stort tack till er i det här rummet, till er där hemma som lyssnar. Det är ert engagemang, eran tid, era pengar som möjliggör den här typen av projekt, vilket är fantastiskt. Så ett jättevarmt tack för det engagemanget, både från oss på Svenska kyrkans internationella arbete, men också direkt från Rumänien i det här fallet. Vill också skicka ett tack till Maria, Ninni och Josefin, givarservice, som har bjudit in till den här dagen. Ett varmt tack till Emil Olsenmy som har kämpat med tekniken, gjort det med den äran. Niklas Fahlgren som har samordnat den här kvällen, som har gjort det fantastiskt. Och det har varit jättefint att få samlas kring det här, få höra om projektet, höra vad som händer och vad vi bidrar till med våran tid och våra pengar. Ett fantastiskt förändringsarbete. And a huge thank you to Jakob and of course our guest Lucian for joining us. Huge thank you. Keep up the good work, as we say. Stort tack allihopa, stort tack till er där hemma. Join us next time. Det här är succé. Jakob skrattar över mig.
Tack till nobody, thank you.
Thank you. Stort tack, här avslutar vi för ikväll. Tack och hej.